When we talk about the greatest players to have ever graced the tennis court, there are a few names we can't miss out on no matter what. Names such as Novak Djokovic and Roger Federer. We could say playing tennis is an instinct for these guys, and they're darn good at it. In this video, we'll see how close Novak Djokovic is to breaking Federer's record, and another record that's now been tied by Djokovic. First off, Novak Djokovic. The Serbian tennis player has achieved a lot throughout his career, and here are a few of his achievements. Djokovic is a 21-time Grand Slam champion, with only Rafael Nadal being ahead of him with 22 titles. He's been a record 7-time year-end world number 1 and has also been number 1 for 373 weeks straight, achieving this feat in 2021. We could list his records and achievements all day long if it were up to us. The best part about his game is his versatility and being able to play well on any type of court. The Serbian is the only player in tennis history to hold all 4 titles on 3 different surfaces at once. That's absurd! Being such a good tennis player, he obviously reaps the rewards too. The 35-year-old rightfully has the highest earning tennis career of all time. Not only that, but unsurprisingly, Djokovic currently holds more than 20 Guinness World Records. Up next, Roger Federer. To Federer's credit, he's arguably the biggest tennis player in terms of popularity and brand image. This is something the Swiss has built for himself over the years. Some of it can be credited to his charming personality, and some can be credited to his intelligence. These things don't undermine his ability as a tennis player. He is truly one of the best players of all time. Roger has 20 Grand Slam titles to his name, third to Nadal with 22 and Djokovic with 21. Federer has won 8 Wimbledon titles, an all-time record. The recently retired legend is the only player to win 2 Grand Slams 5 consecutive times. Federer also holds the unique record of being the oldest player to be ranked at the top of the male rankings in tennis. What we said about Djokovic, the same goes for Federer. The list of achievements and records doesn't stop. Federer strives on grass, where he holds a winning streak of 65 consecutive matches from 2003 to 2008. He's won a record 19 grass court titles, unlike any other player in history. His grass records clearly tell that he's the greatest grass court player of all time. The Swiss has also stayed on top of the rankings for 310 weeks. Only Djokovic stayed up there for longer. The 41-year-old made his ATP debut in 1998 and retired this year in 2022, a career spanning 20 years, followed by the Djokovic and Federer rivalry. The tennis rivalry between these two is considered as arguably the greatest rivalry in men's tennis history. As fierce as they are against each other on the court, the sportsmanship never dies away. Both players hold immense respect for each other. The Swiss and the Serbian have faced each other 50 times, with the Serb leading head-to-head by 27-23. Out of these, 19 games have been finals, and Djokovic again leads 13-6. Both players hold a unique record against each other. Federer is the only player to have defeated Djokovic at each major, and so is the Serb the only player to have defeated the Swiss at all 4 majors. The rivalry has panned out beautifully over the years. It began in 2006 with Federer triumphing over the youngster 4 times consecutively, but as the years went by and Djokovic became better, he started to win more meetings. Overall, their matches have been pretty evenly contested through the years. It's always a treat for us fans to watch them battle it out on court. In 2019, they were part of the longest Wimbledon final in history, making us sit on the edge of our seats for the whole game. The final encounter between both greats took place in the semifinal of the Australian Open in 2020, where Djokovic had the last laugh. Respectfully, though, if we're being honest. Moving on to how close Djokovic is to breaking Federer's record. Novak Djokovic this year participated in his 15th edition of the ATP Finals. The 6-time winner of the tournament has won a match in every edition of the ATP Finals he's participated in, except the one he debuted in. The Serb failed to even win a match in the 2007 edition, facing losses to David Ferrer, Richard Gasquet, and Rafael Nadal. He's currently on a 14-year streak of winning at least a match in the ATP Finals. Only one player holds the record of winning a match in more ATP Finals, and that, as you guessed right, is Roger Federer. The 41-year-old holds a streak of 17 years. This means the 35-year-old needs to win a match for at least 3 more years. Novak kicked off his 15th ATP Finals run by beating Stefanos Tsitsipas 6-4, 7-6 comfortably. As of now, Djokovic seems to be going strong into the latter years of his prime and hopes to at least tie Federer's record of 17 ATP Finals wins. Next, Djokovic ties Federer's record. As we all know, the ATP Finals is a season-ending tournament, and players always look to finish on a high by performing well in this tournament. The reward for winning the tournament was huge, 1,500 ranking points on the line, with a record prize money check waiting for the winner. The 35-year-old was ranked at 8 before the final and aimed to climb higher, but the biggest prize the Serb had his eyes on was to equal the record of Roger Federer, winning 6 ATP titles. Novak was currently on his 5th one and was about to play play the final for the 6th time. The experienced veteran was facing Casper Ruud in the final. The 23-year-old young talent was looking to win the biggest title of his career and his first win over Djokovic. Even though Ruud is good at playing tennis, he probably knew he had to be really good to beat Djokovic. The final ended with Djokovic winning the first 2 sets by winning 7-5 and 6-3 to seal the deal in an hour and 32 minutes. Not to mention Djokovic's journey in the 2022 ATP Finals. The Serbian's tournament journey started off on the 14th of November, a Monday. He was going up against the 24-year-old Greek player Stefanos Tsitsipas in the red group. The interesting part about the game was that Stefan hadn't defeated Novak for 3 years and was coming into this game with a point to prove. The game started off pretty tight and quickly became about who had the better breaks. Djokovic broke down Tsitsipas in the opening game and held strong from there onwards to close out the first set safely. The first set came from the last winning serve, which Tsitsipas wrongly stopped because he thought the ball was faulty. In the second set, Tsitsipas got a chance at a breakpoint opportunity while leading 2-1, but Novak crushed his hopes and rode safely. Tsitsipas had his moments in the game when he battled back from 5-1 down to get to 5-4, but the Serb soon woke up and pounded 2 accurate serves across the court to reach the finish line. We got to see a tiebreaker in the second set, and the number 8 ranked veteran emerged victorious with a scoreline of 7-4. This was Djokovic's 9th straight win over the Greek player, just the start he would have wanted to the tournament. Let's learn more about the road to the semifinals. The second group game was against the Russian Andrei Rublev. Having only faced him a few times before this game, things could have been troublesome for the Serb, but the 35-year-old went all out, ruthlessly crushing Rublev's dreams. The game went flawlessly for Djokovic with sets of 6-4 and 6-1 to close it out. Even though qualification to the semifinals was confirmed, there was a third group game still to go. Daniil Medvedev now had to face the 21-time Grand Slam winner. The game finished with 3 sets of intense back-and-forth battles, with the Serb finally taking home the win. This saw the 35-year-old finish the group with a 3-0 record. Pretty solid, right? Novak admitted the game against Medvedev was tough and full of fatigue. We could see he was struggling physically in the latter stages of the game. Coming up, the semifinals. In the semis, Novak was going against Taylor Fritz. This was the 6th meeting between the two players. In the last 5 matches, we saw the American go home with nothing to his name, and this time the result was the same. The 21-time major champion edged over the American with a score of 7-6 in both sets. Taylor Fritz had high hopes going into the game, but also knew what he was up against. He lost 13 out of the 15 sets he played against the Serbian. Of course, it was going to be tough. Finally, the match that tied Djokovic with Federer's record. Hoping to end the season on a high note and with eyes on the big prize, Djokovic knew this was going to be a good challenge. Right at the start of the game, a few big errors by Casper Ruud set the tone for the 21-time Grand Slam winner. Casper should have known you can't make mistakes when you're up against the best. The Norwegian tried to keep the game going, but by making continuous errors, he fell on the back foot of the game. Pressure is hard to handle in such situations, right? His 19th error cost him the set as the 5-time ATP winner took the lead with 55 minutes. To be fair, Casper, even though he was frustrated, didn't let go of the sportsmanship throughout the game. His classy gesture during the game regarding a point earned him the respect of the spectators, but that didn't hold Novak back. By then, the Serb was in his groove and kept on gaining points. The final point came down to a 36-shot rally, which made both parties nervous, but the 35-year-old veteran came out victorious. With Novak Djokovic's 2 kids watching on from the crowd, he must have felt proud to win his 6th ATP title and match Roger Federer's record. And on that note, that's a wrap for this video. Do you think Djokovic will surpass Federer? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. We'll see you in the next one.